Welcome to Citi Market Watch, where we concisely unpack all you need to know on important topics. Joining me, Audrey Cheong, Citigold Private Client, Portfolio Counsellor.
Ikigai.
Hi, Audrey. I confess these days, searching for that magic in life and work does seem mysterious.
Son, whether it's Marie Kondo in terms of transform your life or Ikigai, the reason for being, a lot of people are finding inspiration from these Japanese authors and Japan.
Yes, the global sensation that is Marie Kondo. I need that minimalist inspiration and transformation, and I certainly am looking hard for that happiness and balance in life, family, and work. Audrey, there is so much to be said for and about Japan, but in the context of investing, it hasn't always been that obvious.
Son, it may be a surprise to most that Japan is still up there in terms of market capitalization, ranking third in the world.
This is true. I think these days tourism ranks highly in most people's perception of Japan, and we kind of forget about iconic companies like Sony, Komatsu, Toyota, Asics, Uniqlo, Muji, and I dare say even Sanrio's Hello Kitty. Of course, we mention these for illustration and reference only. But the point is, Japan is a broad and deep market. Audrey, why are we not talking about these opportunities more? And what are the more obvious opportunities?
We could spend a long time on economic history, but remember or note that Japan's economic miracle through the 1970s and 80s saw its stock market, the topics, return high teens annually. After the Plaza Accord and the very protracted balance sheet recession that had to be worked through, topics returns average a very uninspiring 2 to 3% on an annualized basis since the 1990s.
I can see the disappointment, and there have been so many promises and failed takeoffs. But what caught my eye is valuations. Yes, we have had a significant reset globally through last year across regions, markets, and asset classes, but Japan stands out as having one of the lowest absolute valuations. That's forward PEs or price earnings ratios, and certainly the cheapest relative to its own range over the last 15 years. Despite the failed and false starts, valuations matter and price matters too. So Audrey, if we then think more about what's interesting, how Japan has transformed itself and what catalysts might present themselves, what are you thinking about?
From a catalyst perspective, Abenomics, or the economic policies of Prime Minister Abe, have been transforming Japan now for 10 years. Now, perhaps the two most important drivers here were policies to improve corporate governance, requiring companies to have a greater number of independent directors, better disclosure, and transparency. The other is long-standing ultra-loose active monetary policy that has kept the yen relatively weak.
Prime Minister Abe was quite a pivotal figure in Japanese politics. His long tenure from 2012 to 2020 did reinforce important policies for Japan.
Notwithstanding the broad policy support, Japan should be noted, at least from an investment perspective, for a few compelling themes. Firstly, Japanese culture is captivating for almost everyone, and this makes tourism top on the list. Next, Japan's aging demographics has long been a spotlight and a challenge. Yet Japanese healthcare innovation, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, services has kept Japanese healthcare companies very relevant. Japanese gaming. This is still the country where the PlayStation and Nintendo started. And do I need to mention household names like Super Mario Brothers or Final Fantasy? Lastly, but not exhaustively, threading itself through a few of these themes, Japanese technology, especially hardware, artificial intelligence, and robotics.
We covered the incredible potential and excitement of AI a couple of episodes back. But that link between AI and robotics, I do see the acute need. But it does get my ears and hair up on end.
Don't overthink it, son. Just know this. Asia is the world's largest industrial robot market. China alone, if it wants to stay abreast with South Korea's automation levels, needs to lift its industrial robot installation 3 times or threefold. And through all this, remember, Japan remains a leader in robotics and home to the largest, most revered manufacturers of industrial robots.
Thank you, Audrey. Again, we are barely revealing the tip of the iceberg here. Investing in Japan is like many who love visiting Japan. You just keep finding more and more unique, interesting, and compelling things to do. Join us for our podcast on Japan as we dive deeper and reconsider the Japanese investment proposition, what themes are driving it, and how, in particular, we should also not lose sight of robotics as a key transformational theme. Thank you, and please speak to your Citigold or Citigold private client relationship manager about further opportunities.